Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me for a 60-minute power yoga practice. Today is pretty special because it marks the 70th straight day in a row that I've been sharing free yoga online through Facebook Live and then uploading to YouTube. So I'm really happy to mark this occasion. I really miss teaching yoga in the public studios, but until that time I made a commitment to share yoga any way that I could and make sure that people still had a chance to practice. More importantly, to keep the yoga community strong. And so today we will focus in this practice around the idea of authenticity. When we come from our hearts, from our true authentic self, creates more meaning in our lives, and we can do that through our yoga practice. And there's a beautiful intention card that I have here, and it says, when thoughts, words, and actions are intimately aligned with your heart, then what follows is ultimately naturally genuine and pure. And so today I would invite you to create an intention for your practice, a powerful intention. I set the intention 70 days ago to share yoga with the community in any way that I could, and look, here we are 70 days later. And it's been very powerful for me personally as an individual who practices yoga, but also so much learning as a teacher and getting used to the online world, which wasn't really something I had been part of. In yoga, the vinyasa style comes from this idea of moving and placing our bodies and our breath intentionally. That's really what the vinyasa practice is all about. That's the translation of the word vinyasa, to move and breathe with intention. So tune into yourself for the next couple of moments. You can have your eyes closed, you can be seated, you can be lying down. And take a few moments to reflect on what can be a powerful intention for you, and something that could plant the seed for really who knows what can unfold. You can even bring your hands to your heart center and tune into the authentic message from your heart. What are you intending to do? And the word tend means to take care of, or to foster, or to bring to life. And that's really what we're doing when we put in this idea and tend to it, and it comes into fruition in many different capacities. And this is a place to practice that on the yoga mat. And once you have your intention, it could be a word, a phrase, a mantra. Repeat it to yourself a few times, because the words that we say, the thoughts that we keep in our minds, they become very powerful, and they really guide our behavior and the choices that we make. And see if you can use that intention throughout this practice today, as if you're weaving it through along with your breath like a golden thread, and each stitch, each movement, each breath becomes genuinely and intricately designed with that intention. You keep moving in that direction. Your hands are not already there, bring them to your heart center, palms together, touching Anjali Mudra. With total respect for your intention, the power that it brings. Open our practice with one sound of Om. Take a deep, clearing breath in through your nose. Big sigh out your mouth. Inhale for Om. Om. Let that Om be part of the vinyasa, the layering and moving and breathing with intention. Bow your mind into the beautiful light of your authentic heart, your true self. Welcome yourself to your practice. I welcome you to your practice. Namaste. We'll begin in standing, so make your way up to the top of your mat. If you have a couple of blocks that you like to use for the practice, that's great. You can bring them with you. We might end up going to a wall, possibly. Not sure how this will quite unfold yet, but if we have the space and time, we will. So if you have a space near a wall that you can move to, feel free to have that clear and available, but if not, it's no problem. Bring your big toes to touch or feet parallel, assuring that the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Feet can be hip distance if that's okay for you, if it feels more stable. And just tune into the placement of your feet to be intentional. I myself like to practice with my big toes touching, heels slightly apart, and find Tadasana, mountain pose. Press down through your feet, feel grounded as you lift up all the way through the body, through the crown of the head. Lengthen your tailbone toward your heel, slightly draw the belly in, roll the shoulders back and down, and let your palms face forward. Take a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and start to create an intentional breath. The authentic Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction of the throat. Only you can make this sound that will come from you. This narrowing of the throat creates an ocean-like sound. And start to breathe deeper in and out through your nose as you find the Ujjayi breath. And if it's not comfortable for you, then you just try to take as long and deep breaths as you can. Let's start to move with the body and layering together breath and movement, intention. That brings us to authenticity. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen your tailbone toward your heels, maybe arch back. Look up to your palms. As you exhale, soften your knees, fold forward, palms to the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to fold again, Uttanasana, palms flat. Inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, lengthen that tailbone, look up if you like, arch back. Exhale, fold forward, Ardha Surya Namaskar, half stem salutation. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. So breath is paired with movement. When you're not breathing, you're still, quiet. Exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. We'll move into variations of Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. As you exhale, plant your palms. Intentionally step your right and left foot back. Rock the heels forward, draw the belly in, strengthen the arms, dome the space between your shoulders. You can draw the belly in more and maybe lower the knees if you need. Keep pulling the heels forward, rocking the heels over the toe mounds, and see if you can draw the belly in more. One more inhale breath, create a dome between your shoulder blades. Stay here for the exhale, press into your hands. One more breath in, rock the heels more forward. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way to the belly. Take your fingertips out wide off of your mat, Viparita Bhujangasana. Tip the elbows forward. Press the tops of your feet down. Try to get right to the ankle bones. We'll get the same idea when we move through our other back bends. Inhale, lift your chest up. As you exhale, lower your chest down, forehead down. Inhale again, lift your head and chest up, look up. This time, right shoulder down to the mat, look over your left elbow. Inhale, back through center, lift your heart up. Exhale, left shoulder down, look over your right elbow. Inhale, back through center, lift your heart. Exhale, lower straight back down. And now slide your palms underneath your shoulders. Keep your toes untucked, but flatten the tops of your feet even more. Try to roll the heels toward each other. Inhale, shoulders back, elbows in, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale to lower, and we'll do one more. Inhale, Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. This is an option for your back bends today. Press the feet down. Exhale to lower. And now tuck your toes. Let your legs lift up as you engage the thighs. Draw the belly in, engage your core. Elbows back. Inhale through Chaturanga. This is halfway. All the way up, Utthita Chaturanga Dandasana, high plank pose. Take one more inhale breath here. As you exhale, pull the hips back and up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Pedal out your heels for this first downward dog. One heel down at a time, bend the opposite knee, gaze between your thighs. Spread your fingertips wide as if you had exactly one spot to press each finger pad into. Imprint your hands into the mat and use that each time you come to this pose. Find stillness on your inhale breath. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your hips back and up. Get long in the spine. As you exhale, straighten your legs and press your heels down. One more time. Bend your knees. Pull your hips back and up. Imprint your hands. Exhale. Press your heels down. And now come behind your toes. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or hop all the way there. Halfway lift to lengthen, nice flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold as you exhale, Uttanasana. Root through the feet as you rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Find that back bend if you like, curl tailbone towards your heels, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Let's keep moving. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, full Ujjayi breath in, pause. Exhale, full Ujjayi breath out, layered with your intention. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. As you exhale, plant your palms, intentional, left foot and right foot back, creating balance in the body. Take one inhale breath to rock forward, dome the shoulder blades, belly in. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way down. Untuck your toes, either Cobra or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press the tops of your feet down, try to get right to the ankle bone. We'll take an extra breath here, lift the thighs up, press into the hands, imprint your hands. And now from here, roll over the toes back to high plank. One extra chaturanga if you like, halfway down, push back up. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more, inhale and exhale. Come high on your toes, bend your knees a lot, look forward, walk, step or hop. Halfway lift, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, forehead to shins, exhale. Inhale to rise all the way up. Stay standing, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Now again, your feet can be hip distance apart or big toes touching, but make the outer edges of your feet parallel and sit your hips down, Utkatasana, chair pose. Allow the outer hips to pull in toward each other. See if you can draw your kneecaps back so you can see your big toes at least, and then sit the hips a little lower. Now curl that tailbone toward your heels. You'll feel the engagement of Mula Bandha, the root lock, and Uddiyana Bandha, the mid-abdominal lock. See if you can keep that core on as you lift your chest and arms a little higher. Take one more breath. Keep the palms active, pressing toward each other. One more inhale, lift a little higher. Last exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold over your thighs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. This time as you exhale, you can walk, step or hop back to Chaturanga or to your belly. Take your back bend as you roll over the toes. Press the tops of your feet down, lift your heart. And now roll over the toes, high plank, either straight to downward dog or Chaturanga if you're feeling that it's right for you. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take an inhale breath, lift your right leg up to the sky, stack your hip, bend your knee, drop your foot to the left side and look underneath your left arm. Find your toes if you can, square your right shoulder down. Take one more inhale breath, lift your knee a little higher, drop the foot a little more. Inhale, straighten the leg, square your hip. As you exhale, right knee to right upper arm, come high on those back toes, lift that right knee. Inhale, sweep it back up. As you exhale, cross your right knee to your left upper arm. Try to tap the tricep. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, bring your knee in toward the chest. Now press into the hands. Push the hands forward and down, that imprint of your finger pads. Exhale, step your right foot intentionally. Land right inside the thumb. Back heel spins down and reach your arms up. Pull your outer right hip back, left thigh forward. Bend deeply into that right knee, but curl the tailbone toward your front heel. Take another breath in, maybe palms touch as you look up. Bend deeper, exhale. One more breath, reach up. As you exhale, plant your palms down, let your right foot float as you move through Chaturanga, only halfway, 90-degree bend with the elbows. Lift your heart, both feet down. Make your way back, extra Chaturanga if it feels good for you. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take a deep inhale breath here and a long exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky this time. Imprint your hands, stack your hip, bend your knee. Drop your foot to the right side, look underneath your right shoulder. Stay here for another deep breath. Lift that knee a little higher. Let that foot drop a little more. Inhale, straighten your legs, square your hip. As you exhale, left knee to left upper arm, imprint the hands. Inhale, come all the way back and up. Exhale to the right upper arm. Press the finger pads as you twist. Inhale, lift that leg back up. Exhale, knee to the chest. Dome the upper back. Press into the hands. Look forward. Step your left foot lightly inside of your left thumb. Back heel spins down. Hip distance between your heels. Virabhadrasana 1. Left knee bending over the ankle. Pull your outer left hip back. Right thigh forward. If you like, bring your palms together to touch and look up. Take another deep breath in. Reach up a little higher. Bend your left knee more. One more breath. Reach up a little higher. Bend your left knee more. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, plant your palms. Let your left leg float as you move from high plank to chaturanga, only 90 degrees. Press the tops of your feet down. Stretch the front of your ankles. Roll over the toes. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And if you like, at this point, you can walk your feet in just a little bit closer. Bend your knees a lot. Look toward the hands. We'll do a couple little cannonball hops here. So you'll first come forward into high plank with your toes together, and then bend your knees and squat back. Do that a couple times, and then let the feet lift up. Press into the hands. Try to get straight arms. So that intentional pressing down of the hands gives you a little float, and on a fourth or fifth time, hop all the way forward. Halfway lift as you lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chair pose. Hips sit down, arms reach up. Hands come to your heart center, lean forward. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, twist to the right side. Tense your fingertips. This is an intentional movement to create strong hands. Not only good for inversions when we're pressing into our hands, but to create strong hands for balancing. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Take a deep breath in, a long breath out, and you can stay here or left fingertips down, right arm up. Create openness in the right side of your heart. Swing your hips back just a little so the knees and hips are aligned. One more inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Now come back through center chair pose. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Take your right elbow outside the left thigh. Draw your knee and right hip back. Tense your fingertips intentionally to create strong hands to support us for inversions and balancing. Spread your arms. Left fingertips reaching to the sky if you like. Open up the left side of your heart. Take another deep breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Now inhale brings you back through center. Lift your hips and fold. That one feels so good. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant your palms as lightly as you can with the hands pressing down into the mat, that imprint. Hop back, chaturanga. You can step it back if you like. Root the tops of your feet down, lift your heart. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Roll over your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana after that extra chaturanga if you like. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Options for balancing on the hands here. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Bring your right knee to your right upper arm. Now imprint those hands. Be very intentional. Chaturanga arms if you like. If it's available, extend your right leg. Maybe float your back toes. Kundanyasana B. And then press into the hands. Sweep that right leg back. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your left upper arm. Try to hook it. Chaturanga arms, and maybe lean forward. You can keep your right knee bent for now if you like, and lift those left toes. Variation of Kundanyasana A. Inhale, sweep it back up. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Now press into your strong hands. This time as you look forward, step your right foot lightly in the center. Back heel spins down. Find front heel to back arch alignment. Slowly rise up with intention to extend the arms as far away from each other as you can. Your front knee is tracking toward your baby toe. Outer right hip tucking under, inner left thigh open. Take an inhale breath, maybe wiggle your front toes more forward so you can create more space and the front thigh becomes parallel. So that's an intention in itself. every one of these cues, planting a seed of intention. Take an inhale breath, extend. I guess they're clues to the secrets of yoga. Exhale, deepen. Flip your right palm up, lower your left hand down. Inhale, reach up and back, Viparita Virabhadrasana, exalted warrior. Find a bind if you have it, maybe the head. Left hand can come behind. Maybe you find your fingers to interlace. Wherever you are, open up the right side of your rib cage, open up your chest. Keep bending deeply. One more inhale. Bend more on the exhale. Come back to warrior two. Now you're deeply in the pose. Inhale here. As you exhale, peel your back heel up as your hands plant down. Step back, take your vinyasa. It's amazing if you pay attention to all the cues in yoga. They're so intentional. Very specific, very defined. They point you in the right direction. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Left knee to left upper arm. Option to bend your elbows. Extend your left toes. Maybe right leg floats. Kundanyasana B. Important to have those strong hands. Inhale, left leg lifts. Cross your left knee to your right upper arm. Hook the upper arm. Lean forward with it. Maybe float those back toes. Variation of Kundanyasana A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to chest. Keep coming forward. Then step your left foot in the center. Back heel spins down. With control, rise up, opening the arms, spreading your fingertips as far away from one another as possible. And finding that sense of vinyasa, moving and breathing with intention. Try to get deeper in the pose. Wiggle your front toes forward more. Get that front thigh parallel. Extend through your fingertips as you breathe in. Bend deeply as you breathe out. Roll your outer left hip underneath you. Inner right thigh open. One more breath. Inhale here. Exhale. Gaze forward. Flip your left palm up. Right hand down. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exalted warrior. Turn your heart up toward the sky. Maybe capture your head. Maybe your right hand finds a bind. Maybe your right hand behind the heart. Left hand to meet it. Find your fingertips. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back through center, take a full breath in. As you exhale, both hands come down. Take it back for your vinyasa. Ride that wave of your breath as you're breathing, you're moving. In between, you can pause. Come back to your intention. Full inhale and a long exhale. Again, walk your feet a little bit closer in. Step your toes together to touch. And this time we'll take some frog hops. So the knees will come wide, sink your hips to your heels, keep your arms extended, and intentionally imprint your hands on the mat and think of straight arms. And now come forward to a high plank pose with your arms straight and your legs straight. Do that a couple of times and you can stay like that or start to hop. And as soon as your shoulders get over your wrist, try to get your hips over your shoulders. Kick your bum with your heels. And then land your feet in front of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Into chair pose we go. Utkatasana. Now we'll have another balance, crow pose or crane pose. Bring your hands to your heart center. Keep your big toes touching. Spread your fingertips wide, about 1.5 feet distance in front of your toes. Sometimes I like to even step back a little bit because I think it helps to create more space here. Bend the elbows back. You can always step up onto a block if you need. Take the knees a little bit wide just to catch the upper arms, not to be on the outside of the arms, but really intentionally placed on that little shelf of the triceps if you can, or just above the elbows. Start to rock forward. And as you rock forward, draw the belly in strong. Imprint your hands into the mat. Grip the mat with your finger pads. And slowly, maybe 1 foot or both feet, float up. Heels towards your bum. Round the spine. Draw the belly in. Find Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha to support you. Wade into the finger pads. See if you can dome the upper back. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and you can shoot back or step back. Take your vinyasa all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. Options to float again. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Right knee to right upper arm if you like. Kundanyasana B. Inhale, take it back. You can try going for full Kundanyasana A on this side or fallen triangle. So fallen triangle, right leg goes through, left arm up. If you want to try for a bind of the right foot, you can also try this posture. If you have Kundanyasana B, the knee will balance. Not quite in the right position now. Knee will balance on the upper arm, both legs extend. And then wherever you are, meet back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring knee to chest. Step forward between the thumbs, back heel spins down, and rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. It's one of the great teachings that I've had during this time of 70 days in a row of doing the entire yoga class while teaching it. Not something I've done before, so wow. So much respect for people that have been doing that. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. And now let's straighten that front leg. Let the palms touch. Look up. Exhale. Bend deeply. 2 more times. Inhale. Palms touch. Look up. Exhale. Bend deeply. Last time. Inhale. Look up. Palms touch. Exhale. Bend deeply. Keep your arms extended. Straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in a step or 2. It's a shorter base. Hinge forward over your front thigh. Pivot the arms. And feel free to use a block on the inside or outside of your foot, or take your peace fingers for Padangusthasana grip. Grip the big toe from the inside. Cap it off with your thumb. And as you pull up on the toes, press down at the same time and reach your top fingertips up toward the sky. Try to orient the crown of your head very intentionally with the top of your front big toe and your tailbone and your heart all at the same time. One long line. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Left hand to your left hip. Soften your right knee. I'm just going to step back a little bit. Soften your right knee. Step forward onto your right foot and let the left leg start to float. And you might want to have a block under your right hand. Start to turn your left hip open. In fact, activate it by pressing out through your left heel, intentionally curling your toes toward your shin, and then reach your left arm up to the sky. You're welcome to stay here. Maybe look up, or maybe you can soften your left knee, bring it toward you so you can wrap your hand around the outer left foot. Start to spin your hip open more, finding Chapasana. Kick your foot away from you. Maybe you kick enough that you lift your chest, your right palm can float. For 3, 2, on 1, soften your right knee a lot. Bring both hands to the mat. Now pull your right hip back, level your left thigh. Bring both hands to the mat. Take an inhale here. Lengthen, standing L shape. Press out through the heel. As you exhale, start to walk your hands toward your standing leg. Wrap your right hand if you can behind your right calf. Pull it up as you pull your chest toward your shin, forehead toward the shin. As the head comes down, the left leg will lift higher. Keep rolling your outer left hip down. Pull your right hip back. Standing splits, Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana. Now here's where we can come to the wall if you like. You'll bring your hands down. You can stay in standing splits, of course, or even standing L shape. You can use blocks. Or if you like, bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Maybe walk them forward just a little bit. Come up high onto your right toes. Lift that right heel and start to swing that left leg up and down. And I'll just turn to the wall so you can see it from this direction. As you swing that left leg up and down, come high on the toes. Maybe you start to get a little lift of the right leg. And maybe you can find a float. Intentionally press into the finger pads. imprint your hands onto the mat. Nice strong arms. Maybe you can switch your legs in the air a little bit. Play with that couple of breaths, or maybe you're hopping on the spot. And you can see why the intentional place of the hands is so important, why that imprint of the finger pads is so key here, that you really can put into your practice what you need to in order to create what it is that you want to tend to for your future. Coming back to standing L-shaped pose. Bring your left knee in toward your chest. Slowly start to stand up. Your right knee might soften. Bring your left knee with you all the way up. Hug your left knee in toward your chest. And we'll go for another balance. Take your left knee out to the left. Cross your flexed left ankle over your right thigh. Bring your hands to your heart and start to sit down. Ardha Utkatasana, half chair pose. Pull the heart up. So find that cobra pose here. Lift your sternum toward your thumb as you sit back and down. Welcome to stay here, or maybe you get your elbows in front of the shin bone. And it's very similar setup to crow pose. The hands can come down to the mat, maybe to blocks, or you can stand your right foot onto a block. Try to flatten the hands. And if you can flatten the hands, bend the elbows back. And now instead of the knees tapping to the upper arms, you're going to spread your shin bone across the shelf of your elbows. So you'll have one tricep in front of your left ankle and one tricep underneath your left knee. Try to wrap your left toes around the right bicep, lean forward, and maybe you can slowly pop your right toes up or round the back a lot. Create more space, more strength. Press into those finger pads and maybe extend the right leg. Ekapada Galavasana. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and slowly come back. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. Reach your arms to the sky. Let the leg float with you. And we'll transition through Virabhadrasana 3. Hands can come to the heart if you like, or back. Pulling your right hip back, left thigh forward, just like standing L shape. Just like standing splits. And then step all the way back. And open up in a beautiful, wide star shape with your body. I'll turn to the front of my mat so you can see me, but you can turn to the side. Bring your hands to your lower back, interlace your palms. Try to get your palms right to the webbing, close your hands tight together. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Take an inhale breath, lengthen the knuckles down, lift your heart. As you exhale, begin to hinge and fold forward. Let the crown of your head come down, arms lifting up and over the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Let the knuckles move toward the top of, or the side of your mat, toward the floor. Maybe nod yes and no a few times. Let the head be relaxed, neck relaxed. And then as you inhale, release the hands halfway. As you exhale, let the crown of the head come down, hips lift up, and take your variation. Second round here of Prasarita Padottanasana. You might want to grip your feet, maybe take big toe lock. Maybe you have Shirshasana, so the crown of the head comes down. Make a little triangle with your hands in the crown of your head, and let the elbows bend, pushing back, and inner elbows facing each other, and the legs pike up. Try to create length in the spine, draw the belly in, keep your feet active, the legs active. Couple more deep breaths, and when you're ready to come down, keep the legs strong, flex the feet. Try to let the heels land before your toes. And then when you get there, halfway lift. Everybody come halfway up and turn your body toward the front of your mat. Lower your back knee down, slide it as far back as you can. Create an angle with that back leg. So you're avoiding a situation where you're straight up and down. You want to let that left thigh stretch by pinning the top of the knee down, and then reach your arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Flip your left palm up, wrap your right fingers around your left wrist. Give yourself a nice side stretch, keeping your heart open, maybe looking up to the left, drawing your outer right hip back, Left thigh descending down. You can even untuck the toes if that feels okay for you. Deep breath in, the long breath out. Inhale, reach your palms back up, look up. As you exhale, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulder, lengthen your chest forward. As you exhale, pull the hips back and straighten your front leg. Press your right heel toward the top of your mat. Dig it down into the mat as you draw your toes towards you. Just in the same way that we imprinted our finger pads into the mat, imprint your right heel and use that to lengthen as you inhale, exhale to bow. You're welcome to stay here, Ardha Hanumanasana. If you have a deeper practice of Hanumanasana, the right heel will go forward, left knee will go back. Keep your feet active here. You can even curl those back toes to allow the outer left hip to roll down. And if you like, you can bow in. We'll take 5 more breaths. In some poses, for others, a stillness that happens and the mind starts to wander. So loop yourself back in with a stitch of breath, a stitch of intention. And tend to what it is that you want to bring to fruition. Last deep breath here. And slowly start to come up. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your back toes to slide that back knee in, planting your right foot down. I'd like you to think about something because we'll come to 3-legged dog and flip over. You're welcome to flip over into Wild Thing, but you might want to set the intention for yourself of Urdhva Dhanurasana, and that means that when you flip over, you need to bring your feet to parallel in hip distance and work toward that idea of the full back bend. So come with me, let's see what happens. Spread your fingertips wide. So this is the time to intentionally place those hands. Tuck the back toes, lift your back knee up. And as you're ready, inhale, sweep your right leg back and up. Start to stack your hip, open your hip up by bending your knee. Now turn your left fingertips more out to the left to about 10 o'clock. Start to de-weight your right hand. With the intention of Urdhva Dhanurasana, if you like, either come to Wild Thing. Stay high on your right toes, right heel is lifting, outer blade of your left foot pressing down, and you'll sweep the right arm up. Or look at your feet and bring your feet to parallel. And start to turn your chest up toward the sky and reach your right hand toward the mat. And maybe you can flip all the way over Urdhva Dhanurasana. It's making my way onto my mat because the floor beneath me is kind of slippery. Keep pressing into your hands wherever you are, either Wild Thing or Urdhva Dhanurasana, and you might not have gotten both hands down, that's okay. And now press back into that left hand, flip yourself back around, not easy. Right leg lifts, and take a vinyasa. And does it always look perfect and pretty? No, it does not, and it doesn't need to. It's the intention of getting there that matters, that you align your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And let's just take a small rest. Lower the knees, hips to heels, forehead down. Balasana, child pose. Appreciating how much energy and effort goes into this practice, every single cue, every single movement, every single breath, all stitched together to create this incredible tapestry that is our authentic self. Okay, let's move through that whole sequence on the other side. All right, downward facing dog we go. When you're ready, downward facing dog, take a full inhale breath, full exhale, and make sure those hands are planted firmly, imprint them in the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Left knee to left upper arm. You can go for Kundalini if you like. Sweep it back up. To the right upper arm, you have the option here for full Kundalini A, both legs straight, or you can go for fallen triangle, sweeping your right arm up, maybe wrapping your right hand around the outer edge of your left foot, turning underneath, draw that foot toward the top left of your mat. Beautiful, sweep it back up. Bring your knee to your chest, keep coming forward. in the center, warrior two. Rise up. Big full inhale. Exhale. And straighten your front leg, palms touch, look up. Listen for your breath. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale. And exhale. Something I love about teaching a group class is the sound that comes with this movement. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in just a step or two. Little shorter base. Inhale as you hinge forward over your front thigh. Pivot the arms. Find your variation of Trikonasana, not pouring the weight down into your left hand. In fact, you want to lift up even higher with that right hand. You can use a block or the mat inside or outside of your left foot, or find Padangusthasana, that big toe lock. Peace fingers on the inside of your big toe. Cap it off with your thumb. Outer left hip tucking underneath you, inner right thigh rolling open, look up, and intentionally align the crown of the head with your front toe, front big toe, your heart, your hips, and your top hand. Deep breath in, another deep breath out. One more. Use the Ujjayi breath. Now look down, soften your left knee. Feel free to use a block under your left hand if you need. It will end up being under your shoulder, so forward into the left of your standing foot. Soften that left knee as you raise the right leg up parallel to the floor. So not too high, not too low. You can take a look at it. Make sure you can see your toes, because if the leg is winging behind you or way up in the air, then you're in a different pose. Reach your right arm up. So we want to keep the true alignment, the authentic alignment of this posture. Right arm reaches up. Maybe you look up. If you want, soften your knees, bring your right knee in until you can grab the outer edge of your right foot with your right hand and kick that foot back and up and spin the chest open. And maybe you lift your chest enough that your left fingertips become very light, maybe even floating. For 3, Shavasana, 2, 1. Amazing work, everybody. Soften your left knee. Bring both hands to the mat. You can use your thumb in your left hip crease to roll it back, push it back, so the right thigh rolls down. Find standing L shape. Keep your right leg active. Press out through your heel, toes curl toward you. Take an inhale breath to lengthen. As you exhale, walk your hands toward your standing leg. Bring your left hand behind your calf if you like. Pull up on the calf. Bring your forehead toward your shin, and the right leg will lift higher. Keep rolling the outer right hip down, press up through the heel, toes curl down. And you're welcome to stay in either of these shapes. We're doing a little bit of hopping for handstand. Again, you might want to move to the wall for this, spreading the fingertips wide. Maybe step your left foot a little bit further back. Come high on your toes and start to swing that right leg up and down. And I'll move to the wall for this. You don't have a wall, it's okay. It's not necessary, and it definitely challenges you to find your balance a lot faster if you don't use the wall. Come behind your toes, and maybe if you're using the wall, stay away from the wall a little bit so you have a little bit more space to float. Swing that right leg up and down, maybe a couple light hops. Hollow out the front body. Press into those finger pads, the intention and the space of the hands, so important here, the strength of the hands to hold you, just like your feet hold you when you're standing on the floor. When you're done playing there, come back to your mat, standing L-shaped pose, left hip pulling back, right thigh forward. Take an inhale breath here to lengthen. Stay for your exhale, and then soften your knees, bring your right knee in toward your chest. Stand all the way up. And if you're still playing, no problem. Just meet us here when you're ready. I think that was a little bit faster on this side. Lift your knee up. Take it out to the side. Then cross your flexed right ankle over your left thigh. Hands to the heart. Ardha Utkatasana. Slowly start to sit down into your seat, to your chair. Pull the hips back and find Bhujangasana Cobra. Intentionally lift your sternum toward your thumbs, and this creates a little bit more length. We will need that to create the space if we want to float into this posture today or someday. If you can, hook the elbows in front of the shin bone and spread the shin bone apart. So you have one elbow underneath your knee, and you have one elbow just in front of your ankle. And this gives you an ability to wrap your right toes around the bicep. And your hands can come to the mat or to blocks. So you'll notice if your toes are quite close to your hands, you get quite squished in this posture. It's hard to float. So hop your left foot back and create more space between the hands and the left toes. And then from here, bend your elbows back so the hands are imprinted into the mat. Press into your finger pads. Lift that shin bone and lay it over top of the shelf of your elbows and hook the toes. And now start to press into the finger pads even more around the spine. And maybe your left toes float up. Maybe you can extend that whole left leg back behind you and try to hold it for 3, 2, 1. Kapata Galavasana, beautiful work. Wherever you are, that's where you're working. Coming all the way up, reach your knee up, reach your arms up. Any variation of Yogadrasana 3, arms can come forward. You can float to the heart or back behind you, but pull your left hip back, right thigh forward. Extend the legs. You're going to make your body parallel. And then step all the way back and open up to the long edge of your mat. And from here again, hands behind the lower back, take the opposite grip. Cross the opposite thumb on top. Feels like you're holding someone else's hand. It's really your hand. Lower the knuckles toward the earth. Lift your chest to the sky. Take an inhale breath here. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Lengthen. Breathe in. Exhale to bow. Let the hands come up and over the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Chin in toward the chest. A little bit more weight into the toes. Envision those hands one day coming all the way down to the ground, to the mat, or to the earth. Create more space by letting the head relax. One more breath. And then slowly release your hands underneath your shoulders, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, another round here, Prasarita Padottanasana. You can take wraps of the hands around the feet or the heels, even the calves, or maybe Shirshasana B if it's in your practice. If your head easily touches the mat and you want to work toward a little deeper stretch, close the distance of your feet and bring your hands further back. Push into the mat, intentionally push your hands down, bend your elbows, and this will help you to pull the crown of your head down. One day the crown of your head right between your feet, hips lifting over top of the crown. Couple more deep breaths. And if you're in Shirshasana, take your time to come out of the pose over the next few breaths, making sure that you have control. Let your heels touch down before your toes. Last deep breath in, full breath out. Slowly start to come back up, halfway lift. And walk your hands and turn your toes to the top of your mat. Lower your back knee down, and just as we did last time, slide it as far back as you can. You can always untuck the toes as well. And then rise up, Anjaneyasana. This time flip your right wrist up, wrap your left fingers around your right wrist. Take an inhale to lengthen, exhale, hinge up and over to the left side. Right thigh pushing forward and down, left hip back. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Maybe you look up to the right. Beautiful. Come back through center, reach your arms to the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands to the mat, tent your fingertips, pull your chest forward and up, full breath. And as you exhale, pull the hips back, imprinting your heel onto the mat. Dig your heel down, toes curl toward you. Your palms can walk closer to you if you need, closer to under your shoulders or onto blocks. You can inhale to lengthen, exhale to bow. Keep pulling that left hip back, right thigh forward, and if you have the space, you can start to go deeper. This is something I definitely set a lot of intentions about over the years. And the intention wasn't necessarily to get into Hanumanasana, but to release myself from this ideal of sticking a pose, and instead letting go of ego or softening the practice, not always striving to look the best, but just to be authentic. And then the pose comes over time. For some people it might be a really long time. That's okay. Let's take 5 breaths here. Last deep inhale and a long exhale. Slowly walk your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your back toes to guide that knee in, plant your left foot down, and again create this intention of maybe one day, it might not be today, of Urdhva Dhanurasana, flipping over rather than Wild Thing, which is perfect. It's a variation of side plank combined with a back bend, but maybe one day you can find that beautiful full back bend. So plant your hands down, imprint your fingers on the mat, tuck your back toes. On your inhale breath, sweep your left leg back and up, and spin your right fingers out to the right, maybe to about 2 o'clock. Start to stack your hip, bend your knee, open it up as we've been doing. And then as you flip around, go to Wild Thing if you like. Drop your left toes behind you, stay high on your heel and reach up. Or look at your feet and intentionally bring them parallel to each other, hip distance apart. And start to spin your chest open and reach that left hand for the mat. And it might not make it all the way down today, but if it does, and again, I'm just going to crab walk you over onto my mat. Press both hands down. Lift your heart. Try to straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Wherever you are, take one more full deep inhale, one exhale. And then press into your strong right hand. Spin yourself back around, lift that left leg up. Might have to hop around a little bit and take your vinyasa. And wherever you are, it's exactly where you're meant to be. That is the authenticity of this practice. You can't hide in this practice. It always exposes your true authentic self. And on our next inhale, we'll hop our knees behind our wrists, coming onto our shins. Just sit down for a moment on your heels. Bring one hand onto your heart, the other hand on top, with deep reverence and appreciation for who you are in this moment and in every moment. Yoga has a beautiful way of peeling away all of the layers that we put over top of ourselves to expose this beautiful heart that is you. 2 back bends here, Ustrasana, camel pose. If you'd rather do a back bend on your back, you can take little bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. We've already done a couple of those. I thought I'd add in something a little different. You're welcome to put a block in between your inner thighs if you like that idea of squeezing the block to create that distance of the hips, and also gives you a little bit of feedback of how to press the thighs forward. You can also place the block on the second setting between your ankles, so you keep that proper alignment of the posture. Alignment is so important, of course. So let's do the first set with the toes tucked, hands to the lower back. And there'll be an option to drop back into Urdhva Dhanurasana for those of you that like to do that. Kind of why we set up here as well. Draw the shoulders back, lift your heart. Slowly start to arch back. Keep pressing the thighs forward. If you have the block, squeeze the block. Maybe let the head drop back. If it's available for you, and it should be a little bit because we've opened up the shoulders a lot, bring your right hand to your right heel, left hand to your left heel, but don't worry if you're not ready for that yet. Keep pressing the thighs forward. Maybe drop the head back. 3 breaths. Hands to your lower back. Slowly rise up and tuck the toes. Sit down, hands back to the heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, second set, you can do the same thing. You can also untuck your toes. If you want to try the drop back, and it might not go all the way for you today, but you can certainly get started with it. Make sure you tuck your toes. So come up onto the shin bones again. You can also create a deeper back bend here by taking the knees a little bit wider and tops of the feet down. So at the beginning when I was saying press the tops of your feet down right to the ankles, that's the kind of flexion that you want to have there. Otherwise, let's try this drop back, and you might not go all the way today, don't worry. You have to start somewhere. You plant that seed of intention. Hands to your heart. And those of you that practice with me, you know that I love to offer this in class. So do it with me, especially if you've never tried it. On your inhale breath, hands to your heart. Start to sweep the hands up. And as if you had those hands at your lower back, start to press the thighs forward. And now stay here. You can stay right here and hold this. Or trust. Start to drop back. Keep going. And let the hands come to the mat. Straighten your arms and legs. You might need to adjust a little bit. And find Urdhva Dhanurasana. Let the head drop down. Look back toward the direction of your toes, your heels. Press into your hands and legs. Straighten the limbs. If you want to come out in your camel, feel free to come out. From here, you can either lower down onto your back or step your feet back toward your hands a little bit. Try to lower both knees. Come back through camel. Hands to the lower back. And sit all the way back down. And again, pat yourself on the heart with full admiration, full reverence for your authentic self shining through this practice. No matter what's happening in the world around us, we always have this opportunity to shine through yoga. Take a full deep inhale and a full exhale. Slowly release your hands down to one side. Come onto your seat. Extend your legs out in front of you. A couple of options here. If you feel like you need more hamstring stretching, I haven't done a lot today, you can take Paschimottanasana, folding forward. If you feel like you want to get the inner thighs, then you could take butterfly pose. You can also do this pose on your back. So you decide. Paschimottanasana, or butterfly pose. From either of these poses, let's take 2 more deep breaths. Slowly start to rise up. Bend your knees, bring them together if they've been out wide. Wiggle your toes toward the top of your mat. Reach your arms forward. Take an inhale breath here. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your back. Give your knees a nice squeeze. And let's take your favorite supine twist. So come with me if you like, or take your favorite. Knees can go to the right first. Take your feet wide, knees wide, and let your knees drop over to the right side. Wiggle your left foot more to the left so that your knee is in line with your hip. And then place your outer right ankle on the outer left knee. Turn your gaze over to the left if it feels good. Take a few deep breaths here, pushing your knees down toward the mat, letting gravity pull them down at the same time. And bring your gaze back through center, take your top foot off. Bring your hips and knees back through center over to the left side. Wiggle your right foot out to the right. You can place your outer left ankle on your outer right thigh. Turn your gaze to the right for a few breaths. head back through center. Release your top foot. Windshield wiper your knees a few times side to side. Feet nice and wide, knees wide. And then from here, if you like, take the knees in toward you. Reach through and grab the outer edges of your feet for happy baby, or Viparita Karani, or if you'd like, plow pose or shoulder stand, or even a traditional yoga headstand. And take about 10 breaths in whichever pose you've chosen to round out your practice. When you're ready to make your way into your final shape, Shavasana, please make your way there. And coming back around to this idea of authenticity, bring your intention to mind, your powerful intention. When thoughts, words, and actions are intimately aligned with your heart, then what follows is ultimately, naturally, genuine, and pure. And for myself, no matter what's been going on in the world around me, for more than 25 years at least, I've always had yoga. It's always been something that I can keep coming back to because that's where I connect with my authentic self, where I can connect with my heart. And it really is such a blessing to be able to share it with each and every one of you in the way that we have recently online. It's been different and it's been challenging, but it's also been so joyful and wonderful to stay connected. And that's why I keep doing it every single day. So thank you so much for tuning in whenever you do, whether it's through Facebook or YouTube, for all the messages and the gratitude. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now on this practice with a beautiful chant for peace, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And I wish you peace. I wish peace for the whole world. Feel free to join if you like. Deep clearing breath in and a deep clearing breath out. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.